You know, I like replays a lot. They're kind of an important component of what I do. Being able to go into a battle whenever I want and peruse it at my leisure makes me happy. If live commentary was the only way to make content for Total War, I think a lot of people probably just wouldn't watch it much because it's really hard to commentate well, play well, and get good cinematics all at the same time. And I think all of those are crucial elements of a good viewing experience. But more than that, replays and live streams give people a chance to immortalize some of their favorite gaming memories. I've had some amazing, epic moments in gaming over the years, and many of those could never have been shared with you all without the ability to go back in and watch them again. And that would have been a shame. So yesterday we got news that a new Spectator Mode is coming to Total War Warhammer 2. And while I doubt many people were running through the streets naked in jubilation, if done well, I think this could dramatically improve the way we watch battles on Twitch and YouTube. I don't want to overhype it. I have very little idea what's actually going to be included, and there's a decent chance it's going to be very bare bones with very little functionality that I actually care about. But, as someone who's been doing this for years now, I've got some ideas about what I would like to see. The only information we have so far is straight from the Everchosen Invitational, where Dogbert said it would allow spectators to host their own games. Useful during tournament streams for sure, but hardly some grand revelation, and doesn't really give us a great idea of what to expect. I imagine it's going to be at least a little bit more robust than that, so I want to talk about a few of the things that aggravate me about the current replay system, and live streaming in general, and how they could be addressed. Have you ever clicked on a battle video, heard a commentator say, "This match was sent in to me by a viewer," and immediately known who's going to win? A lot of the time that can kind of kill the suspense, right? People naturally like to show when they win. That's true of commentators like myself or Turin, although I think we do a decent job of showing losses too, but it's especially true for people who don't have their own channels. If you only have a handful of shots to get your battle on YouTube, generally speaking, you don't want it to be a loss. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it means the outcome of battles can be unsurprising and sometimes less entertaining as a result. One of the most important things I would like CA to fix in the replay system is to randomize player colors, so that even if it's my own replay, the health bars on my units won't automatically be green and my opponent's red. Right off the bat, suddenly more suspense will pretty much always be there on the spectator side of things. Super simple, but would suddenly be a lot less obvious who's going to win at the start of a match, and make it a lot more enjoyable. I personally already do a lot of things to keep you guys on your toes. I'll sometimes focus on the faction that isn't going to win, or I'll make the spotlight unit one that is on the losing side, or stuff as simple as putting the losing faction's banner on the left side of the thumbnail. But having a feature that either gives players more neutral health bar colors, or switches them around so that it's not always green equals good, red is bad, I think that would be really nice for replays. Now in terms of live streaming, a function that doesn't show either player's build, but still allows the host to mouse through all the factions and unit stats just like they were a player, is an absolute must. Literally, in the first match of the Everchosen Invitational Tournament yesterday, I saw Ninja Hun's build before the match even started, because the stream team had a hiccup and dropped their overlay while they were still in the lobby. When you've got hundreds or even thousands of dollars in the line for a tournament, that cannot happen, because if I can see it, the other player can see it too, and then they gain an unfair advantage before the match even starts. So a super easy way to make sure it doesn't happen, and in stream hiccups don't give opposing players info they shouldn't have, is to not have players' builds on screen while they're in the lobby. In the current system, you're forced to. There is no choice. So if the overlay screws up, someone is going to see their build, and they're going to gain an advantage that they really shouldn't have. There's always going to be an element of stream sniping when people are playing from home, when it's not in a controlled environment. It's part of the reason why Vanguard deployments and sneaky ambushes don't typically work in tournament play. One, because players are generally better, but two, it's just super easy to check your second monitor or alt-tab for the first few seconds of a match and look at your opponent's deployment on stream. Sure, there are plenty of people who don't do stuff like that, but there are plenty of players that do. And while it can't be entirely avoided, the danger of stuff like that happening can be mitigated somewhat simply through a good spectator system. So at the very least, people won't be seeing each other's builds. Now there is one thing in particular that triggers me deeply during a commentary. You've heard me talk about it before, and it is literally one of the most annoying things in the game. Unit command orders, especially on some of the legendary lords, can be incredibly obnoxious, and there is no way to get rid of them unless you mute your volume completely. Take a listen to Isabella von Karstein and an Orc war boss as I give them casual movement orders. And then, imagine they're stuck in a situation where they need to be given many movement orders in a very short time frame, and how frustrating it will be to try to commentate over their diarrhea of the mouth in a live stream or in a replay. Like seriously, they do not shut up. Have a listen.
Swiftly! Quickly! Swiftly! Quickly! Swiftly! Quickly! Fire!
Go, go, go! Run it! 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 Go, go, go! Run it!
Literally the kind of thing that makes me want to commit ritual Sudoku, and it's ruined my fair share of commentaries too, where I get so distracted by them screaming those command orders in my ear that I either have to stop the recording or completely restart and turn the volume super low, and that is not something you want your content creators to have to worry about, and it offers nothing to the game. And plus, when Isabella's saying quickly, swiftly, quickly all the time, that makes Vlad feel really self-conscious. I mean, his sexual stamina should be way higher by this point. He's been doing it for like 2 millennia, but there's no reason for Isabella to shame him publicly like that. It's really kind of messed up. Another big one for replays is an ability to hide the timer. I'm not sure why this wasn't always an option, but the clock sometimes gives too much of the battle away, and you don't want an awesome comeback spoiled simply because people guessed it was coming just from a little number at the top of the screen. Being able to turn that off and on would be really beneficial. And of course, the ability to move forward and backward in time would be amazing, but I don't think that specifically is ever going to happen, simply because that's not how Total War replays work. I do want to say here though, the claims that all the system does is save your movement and attack orders is false. It does a hell of a lot more than that. It will save the exact same animation for every single model and unit exactly how it was done in the battle at that exact same time, and always play it back that same exact way until a patch corrupts it. I've seen people argue it's not a real recording, and that's why funky things happen sometimes, but it functionally is a recording. The only time you start seeing something weird, where you see incorrect replays and units kind of standing around when they didn't in the battle, is either because of mod incompatibility, a patch corrupted it, or reinforcements in a campaign battle were re-rolled when you played it back. Those are the only reasons why it would ever be spoiled. I want to say some of these things were suggested by the Balanced Assembly team when they submitted their wishlist to CA a while back, and I am sincerely hoping they took at least some of those ideas on board, because they could really improve the viewing experience for Total War, and honestly, that's just a great way to market and sell your game. It just makes sense for CA to invest in something like this. I don't think it's incredibly hard for them to do either. I mean, the tournament yesterday had almost 15,000 viewers on Twitch alone, in the top 20 streams on the entire site. People can poop out random multiplayer commentaries and easily rack up 20, 30, even 40,000 views fairly frequently. It's very clear that people enjoy watching Total War. It's up to Creative Assembly to improve that experience, and hopefully that's what this new Spectator Mode will be able to accomplish. Is there anything else you guys can think of that would make live and replay battles more enjoyable for you? Or any feature in particular you think should be included in this new Spectator Mode? Let me know down below, and be sure to check out the Everchosen Invitational today. There will be some really good matches between, I think the remaining players are Sakarma versus Soothsayer and Romulan Dog versus Shetland Apache. And I will also be in the tournament as well, doing 2 show match free-for-alls with Lionheart, Jackie Fish, and Nerd Rage Fitness. So be sure to tune in for those in the middle of the stream, and I will see you in the next video. Indie Pride, signing out for now. Have a good one, guys.